All right, so if you're a developer who uses AI, you know the drill, right? You're constantly writing prompts for these little one-off tasks. But what if you could actually teach your AI a new ability, like for good? That's what we're going to get into. We're diving into this really powerful idea called Claude skills. And trust me, it can completely change your workflow.
We've all been there. You ask an AI to whip up some code, and it's great, but then you find yourself telling it the same things over and over again for different parts of your project. It's helpful, sure, but it's not really automation, is it? So the big question for all of us developers is this: how do we get past these simple, repetitive prompts and actually get AI to handle the really complex, multi-step stuff and do it reliably every single time?
And that's exactly where skills come into play. Think of a Claude skill like a reusable standard operating procedure, an SOP, but for your AI. So instead of just giving it these one-off directions, you're actually building a detailed playbook. You're teaching it a whole new, complex ability that it can use over and over. It's kind of like the difference between hiring a freelancer for one quick job versus training a full-time assistant who really learns how you work.
Okay, so why is this such a big deal? Why should you care? Well, I'm going to break down the 3 main reasons why skills are, and I'm not exaggerating here, a total game changer for anyone who writes code.
All right, reason number 1, it's all about mastering those specific, repeatable tasks. This is huge for consistency and, of course, for quality.
Just look at the difference here. The old way, let's call it the painful way, is telling the AI, hey, design a nice front end. And what happens? You have to spell out every single detail, the colors, the fonts, the layout, every single time. And you know what? There's a pretty high chance the AI will just go off and hallucinate something weird. But with a skill, you do that painful process once. You teach it exactly what you mean when you say a nice front end. After that, the skill is saved. You just call it, and boom, perfect, consistent results every time.
Okay, the second reason, this is a big one. It tackles a major headache with today's AI models, the context window.
You see, the old way of doing this with system prompts is just, well, it's inefficient. It sends all of your rules, everything about your database, your APIs, your design preferences, with every single message, even if you just ask a simple question. It's such a waste of that precious context. But the skill way is so much smarter. The AI looks at your request and intelligently picks only the skill it needs for that specific job. This saves a ton of context and just makes the whole thing way more efficient.
And number 3, this one is all about teamwork and how you can really scale up what you're automating.
What's really cool is that skills are super easy to share. You can literally just export a skill as a simple zip file and send it to your coworkers. And just like that, everyone on your team has an AI that gets your company's specific coding standards or your unique design language. You can even give the same set of skills to a bunch of different AI agents, basically creating this powerful shared brain that standardizes your whole workflow. It's awesome.
Okay, so you see the benefits, right? It's pretty clear this is powerful stuff. But you're probably wondering, how does it all actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a quick look.
So an AI agent setup basically boils down to 3 main parts. First, you've got your core system prompts. These are just the static rules for every conversation. Second, you have the equipped skills, which we've been talking all about. And third, there's this thing called MCP servers, and these are basically the AI's connection to the real world.
Yeah, the easiest way to think about MCP servers is like the AI's toolbox. This is what lets it actually do things in the outside world. Search the web, call an API to pull data from your database, or even create a pull request on GitHub. And a lot of the time, the skills we create will use these tools to get the job done.
So let's walk through a quick example to see how it all fits together. Imagine you make a simple request, like, hey, fill out this PDF form for me. Right away, the AI spots the keyword PDF and it goes, aha, I have a skill for that. It identifies the right PDF skill from its library, triggers it, and that skill runs its pre-programmed steps, maybe using one of those MCP tools to read the file, and then it just completes the task. It's a really clean 4-step process.
Okay, now for the really fun part. Theory is one thing, but let's see what this stuff can actually do. I've got 4 really powerful examples that are going to show you just how much this can completely level up your productivity. All right, so check this out. We've got a bookkeeping app here. And look, it's functional. You can log in, you can see your dashboard, you can upload receipts. It works. But let's be real for a second. The design is kind of basic, right? It's got that standard blue theme, simple fonts. It doesn't exactly scream ready for prime time.
And bam, this is the after. This just perfectly shows the power of a skill. With just one command, literally just redesign our entire front end, The front-end design skill goes to work. It looks at the whole app and spits out a complete, production-grade interface. Now we've got this cool, modern green theme, updated typography, and that professional look is consistent across every single page. I mean, that's a total redesign that probably took just a few minutes.
Okay, let's keep going. Example number 2. Every single developer knows this pain. Trying to find a good domain name that's actually available. Ugh, it's a nightmare, right? All that searching and checking. So what's the solution? A domain name brainstormer skill. You just tell it about your project and it goes off and does all the hard work. It researches options, ranks them based on how well they fit your brand, and this is the most important part, it actually verifies that they're available to buy.
Next up, a skill that tackles something that's both really complex and absolutely critical: payment processing. When you're integrating something like Stripe, you have to get it right. There's no room for error. So you build a Stripe integration skill. It completely masters that whole process, so it can consistently and perfectly implement checkout pages, subscription plans, whatever custom payment flows you need.
And check out the result. The skill didn't just slap a Buy Now button on the page. No, it was way smarter. It actually analyzed the application's features, came up with this entire multi-tiered pricing plan, and then it just built it. It created the database tables, the API endpoints, the front-end components. This entire pricing page you're seeing was generated and fully integrated automatically by the skill.
Okay, so we've seen skills that can design, skills that can brainstorm, skills that can handle complex integrations, but let's take this one step further to the ultimate level of automation. What if you had a skill that could create other skills?
See, the thing is, a lot of the work we do, like a proper code review, requires some serious expertise. And the developer who came up with his next example, he wanted to be able to delegate that really complex review work to an AI. But to pull that off, the AI would need an incredibly sophisticated skill.
And this is where things get really wild. He created a skill creator. Here's how it works. Step 1, you tell the AI to do a deep dive and research a complex topic. Something like best practices for a Nest.js code review. And it goes out and reads, hundreds of articles and docs online. Step 2, you take all that research and you feed it into the skill creator skill. And then step 3, it automatically generates a brand new expert-level Nest.js code review skill based on everything it just learned. It's incredible.
And the new skill it creates isn't just some simple linter. It's incredibly thorough. It has this whole multi-phase review process. It'll start with a high-level architecture review, then it looks at the file structure, and then get this, it does a detailed component review from 6 different perspectives. It looks at the code as if it were a system architect, a product manager, and even a QA engineer. And only after all that does it generate its final report.
This just completely changes the game, doesn't it? We've gone from writing simple one-off prompts to creating reusable skills, and now to skills that can actually create other skills. That is a massive leap forward in automation. So really, the only question left to ask is, now that you can create a skill for pretty much any task you can imagine, what are you going to automate first?